and welcome to Creative Full Time. I'm your host, Alison Mullings, and today I'm sitting down with Gina, and we're talking all things Gamerella. Now, I'm not a gamer. I had no idea what Gamerella or game jams were, and if you don't either, you're about to find out. If you're interested in gaming, interested in creating games from absolute beginner to complete expert, this episode is for you. I absolutely love what Gina and her co-director have created with Gamerella and making this beautiful, welcoming environment. I'm excited for you to learn all about it. But before we get started, if you could hit that subscribe button, it helps us out so much and it doesn't cost you a damn thing. Beautiful. Well,
Hello.
welcome. And thank you so much for reaching out and wanting to be on the podcast. That's awesome.
I'm so excited. I always love talking about Gamerella. I take any
Yes.
opportunity.
Amazing. And so for those who don't know, what is Gamerella?
Gamerella is a game initiative located in Canada. Our headquarters are in Montreal. And, our final dream goal is to create a game industry that is kinder and equitable and just more lovely and safe for all the different kinds of people. And on the way there, one of our ways to achieve that is we throw annual game making events, as well as we have a long term uh, industry mentorship right now that is running. And our focus is to cater to marginalized people who have been historically under-recognized and overlooked in the games industry, both in the making and on representation.
Fantastic. And so at this event, it's for game creators.
Yes.
Fabulous. That's amazing. That is so cool. So what kind of activities do you have happening at Gamerella? I know you have some mentors and things like that. Are there panels to go to and workshops, or how is it set up?
Yeah, so traditionally game jams, these game making marathons are often called game jams, or last 48 hours, and they start Friday night and they go till like Sunday night, and they're like very like intense, like you stay awake the whole weekend and just like code and work and drink like like energy drinks and whatnot. That's not what we're doing. We're chill. We send people home to sleep. As you mentioned, we have mentors on the site. Our mentors are really incredible industry people who have been making games sometimes for decades and have worked on really incredible titles like Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider and so on. And these mentors are just chilling in the space, and people can ask them anything they want. And we only start Saturday morning and end Sunday night. We send people home to sleep. Well, hopefully they sleep. And we cater the event. We try to create, we have like low sensory spaces. We try to make the event as accessible as possible. We have a support worker for anyone who is who might be having a more stressful time and these events can be difficult, or there's some like inter-team dynamics that are causing some anxiety. And before the jam, we have a series of workshops. So the weekend really is saved time to make the game, the game, the game from scratch to finish, which is a big undertaking. And we make
Yeah.
sure that we don't pressure anyone to have a finished game. We are really big believers in like, you come, you try to make something, and even if you fail, you probably made some friends, you probably had some good time, and you probably gained some confidence and understood more about yourself and what games are. And so beside those 2 days that are truly about just making the game all together in one room, we have the workshops preceding that also to kind of lower pressure. So it's not all in 2 days. And we currently, in this moment we're recording this, we have a GB Studio 101 workshop running. And in this afternoon, we have a pixel art workshop. All our workshops are just like one time, usually 1 hour. And at the end of that hour, even if you come in as a absolute beginner, in an hour, you will have skills to either make a game on your own or to contribute to a game, making it with a team. So it's, again, accessibility, and everything we do is free. And we do it hybrid. So you can join from all over the world.
That's amazing. I love the kind of environment you've created as well. The stress-free environment of it's okay, you don't have to have a finished product. You still did a thing, and that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
That's
nowadays,
amazing.
you showed up in a space in person,
Yeah.
check marks all around,
That's
gold
true.
star.
You left your house.
You left
Like
your house.
and even if you didn't, you came on virtually. Like,
Exactly. You joined on
that's
Discord. You
amazing.
committed to something and you showed up.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is amazing. That is so cool. So how many years has Gamerella been going on?
We started the first game round was 2013, and
Okay.
we managed to do one every single year, including those panini years,
The dark ages.
the dog ages. And, yeah, that's when we switched online, and it was kind of really amazing because we have been running the jam between 2013 and 2019 in only in person in Montreal. And so that creates, limitations. Like, first of all, we have a space capacity limitation, which we like reach every single year. Like, we
Yeah.
never were under capacity. And then and then it's just like, you have to come to Montreal or have to be in Montreal. And we give out some travel support money, but not like flying in from Hungary kind of travel support, right?
Hmm. Not
um,
yet.
I can't. Well, just more people like Billie Eilish, and we will be flying people in from everywhere.
That's right.
And so that year, 2020, we were like, okay, we have to go online, and so we did the first online game jam, and it was obviously had difficulties. It is harder to create that kind of supportive space online, but we had people register from 37 countries, I think. And it's
Wow.
not because we have like a Marvel level marketing budget, It's just, I guess it's just needed. People need more kind spaces
Mm, yes.
that also treat games like craft or art. It can be professional. Like, it can be your, like, we have past participants who have made game studios, like founded their own studios or work at AAA studios making big, big games. But we also have people who do it as crafts, like crocheting or something like that. So yeah, I think people see value in it, especially in today's like rush, more money environment.
Yeah, yeah. The super capitalism is killing a lot.
I love super capitalism. That should be the new term. Like, we have like it was like late capitalism, and after that, it's super capitalism.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's just like we know we should have stopped by now, but the train is just still going. We're like, guess we're on this train. But I love that. I love that you're fighting against it and making a space for everyone and relaxed space. That's fantastic. It's not an easy thing to do with organizing events and in this day and age where everybody just wants to get things done. That's
I think so.
amazing.
Oh
So
well, thank you.
how did you become involved with Gamerella? What is your origin story?
Ooh, my origin story is I have one of those weird paths. So my background is in art and filmmaking.
Nice.
But I realized, like, I'm all about the stories and the storytelling. And then I've always been a nerd. I actually made a feature documentary about called Geek Girls, where I kind of realized that I've always been a nerd. I've always been a geek. I just didn't know what that was, or I didn't know that's okay to be a geek and a woman, okay to read comics or play video games and be a woman. And then it took me a while to, like, realize that and come to terms with it. And also as a filmmaker, there's a very interesting, both in film and fine arts, there's a lot of like snobbery, if I may say, and looking down on newer media. And I consider, games as a medium part of culture, just like film or theater or literature or anything like that. And and so I was like, I like storytelling, whatever shape, that takes. And that includes games. And And I mean, something really incredible about the interactivity, the immersiveness, the magic circle of games, right? And then I was like, I finished film school and I was like, I want to explore this game making thing. Maybe I wanted to be a game maker my whole life. I just didn't know that was an option, so I went into films. But no, I'm really bad at making games. Really bad. I would like to think I'm better at making films. But I realize I'm pretty good at, somehow filmmaking requires a lot of organizational skills. You need to pull it all together for that 1 day or 4 days or whatever shooting. And so I was like, I think I'm really good at organizing these spaces where people can make games. And then I somehow contributed to people making games. And that makes me happy. And I've organized lots of game jams. Gamerella was not the first game jam I organized. There's this really well-known game jam called Global Game Jam that has been running for decades and in every single city in the world. Like, they're actually really cool people. We are in touch with them. I think this year we are officially partners with Global Game Jam, which is a really big deal for us.
Amazing.
Um, and so I went to a game jam myself and I was like, I wanna, experience to try to make games early on when I didn't realize I'm bad at it. And and I was just like, this is so overwhelming and so stressful. And the dude bro energy was high. And not
Yeah.
a personally big fan of Mountain Dew, no offense to anyone. So it was just like not my vibe. And I felt like there were other girls around and we talked and we were like, we really want a space that is like soft and cute and welcoming. And then first it was and even the idea Gamerella came from Barbarella, by the way, the name. Not from Cinderella.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cinderella is also great. But we were just like, ooh, Barbarella's cool. And and we created it originally as like a women game jam. But like even in the first year, it was just so obvious that it's not just women who need alternative spaces. So we opened our gates right away the first year, just like, if you feel that you're not welcomed in game spaces, come join us. And then over the years, that really took shape and took the wording, kind of we figured it out. We did a lot of research too as well around exploring what are the obstacles that marginalized people face when they try to get into the game industry. And we try to really create the event to respond to those obstacles and to make this like utopistic perfect weekend where like there's nothing standing in your way to make a game. Yeah, sorry, I'm rambling on. My origin story is, yes, I was into film and then I wanted to make a game and I was bad at it, but I realized I'm good at making game events.
That's fantastic. No,
Yeah.
I love the rambling. Podcasting is for
Oh, but yes,
rambling.
you're right, you're right.
So you're
I love
good.
being a podcast because I would never have the capacity to host a podcast and do this like editing and every week but I'm so happy to be on one so I can just like ramble on with
Yes,
friends. Yay. And
absolutely,
you do all the
absolutely.
work.
That's right, that's right. I like that about, producers in film. Like,
Oh yeah.
you do all the paperwork, the grant writing, and all of that.
Yes,
Bless
absolutely.
you. They hate that part. But yeah, that's awesome. So what is the something that you think the other game jams would benefit either gaining or losing like what is something that you would change about them? Obviously you did. You made your own game jam.
Like, you do whatever you want, we're just gonna do something else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's fair. But what makes like the dude bro energy? What is something that you would change about
Mm, I
the
do have to
that
say that
environment?
yeah, I do have to say that since 2013, like, there's just, like, so many game jams now, and there's just some really cool game jams. There are, like, game jams about, green energy. There's game jams, like, game jams, for towards LGBTQIA+ people. There's, like, all kinds of cool game jams for creating various spaces. So I think the ecosystem has changed since 2013. Um But, and I think as long as everybody has the space that they're happy and that they, if you're the kind of person who loves that challenge of staying up for 2 days and just creating this, like, it's like an extreme sport of making games,
Right.
that's awesome. But as long as there are other spaces where, if that's not your vibe, you can go to this other game jam. So I think it's great to have so many different kinds.
Yes, that's true. That's awesome. Do you have a favorite game?
Oh, like in general?
Yeah, I
So
know
many.
that's a big
So
ask.
there's some board games behind me.
Yes.
Uh, it belongs to me and my partner, who's a game designer, by the way.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Shout out to Dom 2D, who is a lovely person and a great game designer and artist. Uh,
Amazing.
but we love board games. We play almost every single day, and of course, video games as well. My favorite games. I think the game I played the most hours in my life is probably Minecraft.
Okay.
I think I just really love that it's like Lego. I I love Lego as well, and I just love that the kind of emergent nature of it, that you can just create stories and adventures, and you really it's your imagination is the limit. But I think I like a lot of cozy games as well. Big fan of latest favorites, if I may give shout out to people, is Go Town, Undiscovered Gem. I think, Luma Island has been getting more popular. One of the most phenomenal, farming/adventure games I've ever played. Currently playing, Mars First Logistics, that is about building little robots on Mars to deliver the silliest things, like donuts, or a mug of coffee on the surface of Mars that has, like, just loose coffee in it. Um
It's also important.
yeah. I'm also a big fan of, like, Assassin's Creed, so it's more walking around murdering everyone. People have,
Right.
vast universes inside them.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And as a filmmaker and gamer, have you ever had the desire to turn a game into a film?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Nobody has asked me that question. I love that question. Um, well, actually, I made a bunch of Minecraft machinima films, now that I think of it.
Oh,
So,
yes.
I made a bunch of machinima. So machinima is like shooting a film inside a video game. And I made a docu-web series that's on YouTube, and I recommend it to people. I think it's really funny. It's called Your Place or Minecraft. It's free. You can watch it. And I was on a Minecraft server with a bunch of game scholars who,
Okay.
like, think of, like, like the affordances of gameplay in Minecraft and all that kind of stuff. And I think, and some of it is very serious and very, like, eye-opening, and like, oh, I never thought of it. They thought about playing a game that way. But then some of it is just really hilarious. So I recommend those. And I love making little videos and movies in Minecraft. Don't know why. I guess again, it's that just sandbox. Like it's basically a world where you can make anything you want. I One of my favorite filmmakers is Moya Daran, a real brilliant filmmaker from the 40s, 50s, and I recreated her short film Meshes of the Afternoon in Minecraft, called
Right.
Sightings of the Afternoon, which won the Milan Machinima Film Festival, like, critics award.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
yeah, I guess the answer is that I have been making kind of gamey films, or films with games, but if you're trying to get to the Minecraft movie, I have not thought about making a movie about a game like that.
Right, right. Awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about making the movies inside the games. I guess
Mm.
that is a
It
whole extra thing too.
That's what I consider my craft, as in, like, hobby craft, because it's
Mm,
free. Like, I can do it at home alone with nobody else, while if you're making a film, you need, like, expensive equipment and lots of people and
money.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That is so cool. So what are your 2 favorite things about Gamerella?
Ooh, I think the people is definitely number one. All the mentors who come and, share their talent and their expertise and their knowledge. The people who come in, you know, like almost all, like I don't think like 70-80% of the people who come to a game jam make their very first game there, or they're participating at their very first game jam. And I think it's just such a big step to make and trust us with, coming into that space and be like, okay, this is gonna be the first time I try this, and I think it's gonna be okay. And they form wonderful friendships, communities. And my team at Gamerella, like honestly, the most talented, hardworking, honest, wonderful people. I hope I can raise enough money under Gamerella's roof to have these people hired full time for the rest of their lives and then more. That's my dream. But it's just a really wonderful group of humans, from the volunteers through the mentors to even our sponsors. We have some really wonderful sponsors who really believe in our mission and make it possible year after year that we can host the events.
Amazing. That is awesome. And from one of your first, events that you put together till now, what was something that you learned from the first couple events that either like a hurdle that you had to overcome or something that you wanted to change for next year?
Yeah, so many. Every single year we learn so much. We do surveys at the end of the jam to like see how it was. And it's something we're proud of ourselves on, is that we never sit on our laurels, just comfortably like we did it, because people's challenges also change year by year. So I mentioned that we do research, and it's true, like we have actually like published research papers and supplied research data to other very accomplished game scholars like Dr. Mia Consalvo and her research work. And we really consider what is going on in the industry. Like right now, so many people are laid off, and it is a really massive problem in the game industry. So that's one of the things that our long-term mentorship program is focusing on right now. So we try to react to what is needed right now. What are the obstacles what are the barriers that under-recognized people are facing? And one of the biggest shifts, I think, and one of the biggest like revelations was that after a couple of years of me, obviously the beginning was just mostly just me running the jam. And then, I had like one extra helper. But from year one, we really just wanted to make sure to take care of people. But it's really hard to do that when you're running around arranging pizza orders and setting up the Wi-Fi and, making sure that people are not daisy chaining power bars and so on. To also make sure sit with people and take time and be like, what's going on? Like, why are you anxious? Or why are you stressed? Like, or did someone say something that was hurtful? You just don't have the kind of capacity and time and calmness to do that. Around 2015, 16, Milo joined us, who became our support worker and has been our support worker for many, many years. Um, and Milo's single job is to walk around and check in with people and be like, "How are you? What's up?"
Nice.
And and it's been the most amazing addition to our jam. And I think every space should have a support worker. Every jam should have a support worker. It
Yeah.
has completely, I think, changed and bettered our spaces. We have now more people than Milo. This year, Penelope is joining us, and we want to make sure that people are truly feel safe in the jam space. Because if we promise them that it's going to be a safe space, we want to make sure that it is. And sometimes, in the past, it has happened that we discovered that someone was having difficulty at their school, and we try to help even in those situations as much as we have capacity. But um, I would say like that is the biggest kind of change and achievement that we had over the years that I'm very proud of.
Amazing. That is so incredible. And yeah, you're right. Every space should have a Milo.
Yes, big shout out to Milo. We love you so much, Milo. Also,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Milo is not doing the best right now, so everybody,
Oh
send some
no.
good vibes to Milo.
Yes, absolutely. Aw. And back to Gamerella, you're sold out already for
Yes,
this year
for the in-person tickets, for
for
the
the
in
in-person
yeah, I don't
tickets?
know how to say that sold out. It sounds like it is free. Like, all the seats are gone.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Maximum
this
capacity.
maximum capacity in the space, but we do have still lots of seats for the online jam. It's gonna be on Discord. It is not gonna be it is never as thoroughly supported as the in-person, but it is still much more supported than 99% of online game jams. Our support worker will be online, our mentors will be online. We have a support package that we're giving to people. The workshops are available to all those people. And, our Discord server has the same values and policies as our physical space. So we hope to support people who are not around Montreal or cannot come to Montreal as much as possible. Or if they, don't want to leave their house for whatever reason or can't leave their house, that they can still be part of this community.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That is
still you can
incredible.
still join. Gamerella,
Yes.
yay.
Gamerella.ca. Fantastic. And so for someone who is brand new to the gaming world,
Hmm.
doesn't know a lot about it, but is curious, what do you want them to know about this event and about Gamerella in general?
If you like friendly people and cozy spaces and cookies and you are considering making a game, show up. Come. You don't have to know anything
Amazing.
else. I mean, bring a laptop if you can, but if you don't have, let us know and we will get you a laptop.
Oh, no
Um,
way. That's
Let me tell
amazing.
you my favorite story, if we have time.
100%. Yes.
So, my favorite story ever is, this wonderful, lovely grandmother shows up Saturday morning. She's here to jam. She signed up. In our sign-up sheets, we often ask, like, "Do you have any needs, special requests, support that you need?" But she didn't write anything. She just showed up that morning and she was like, "Hi, I'm here to make a game. I don't my grandchildren love making games, playing games, and so I would like to make a game for them for Christmas." Or
That is
usually
so
are
cute.
so cute. So, like, jam is always in November, so it was, like, perfect timing.
That's
And
amazing.
we were like, "Of course," like, we have a team making session as well. I forgot to mention that. So, like, if you're alone, you don't have team game making friends, then you can just come and we have a very cool team making session. And so we were like, "Okay, we can match you with a team, no problem. Like, do you know any game making tools or" and so it turned out she has never used a computer before. And we were like, "No problem." So, and we started with, "This is what a mouse is and this is how you use it."
Wow.
There was this really incredible team of more experienced jammers who adopted her. We have this adoption system, and they adopted her and they made a game in Twine that is a very simple text-based game making tool. And they ended up having a really cool text adventure game by the end of Sunday that she was able to give to her grandkids.
That is
So
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 cute.
that's Gamerella.
That is adorable.
She
Never
should be
used a
a
computer and
spokesperson.
showed up. What a
Yeah.
brave
Oh my
woman.
god. Yeah, actually, if she hears this, like, get in touch with us. We want you to be on our posters.
Yeah, literally, literally. Yes, that's amazing. And like amazing, like good for you for creating this environment because trying anything new is scary for the first time,
Mhm.
right? Whether it's like a gym class or a knitting class or whatever, any kind of dance class, anything new. It can be so intimidating to go and be like, "Oh, these people are gonna think I'm stupid. They're gonna think I'm a loser. I don't know what I'm doing." And that fear of looking dumb and feeling dumb and all that is so real. So, that's amazing, and congratulations for making such a beautiful, welcoming space.
And everything you said is, I think, double true for game making and the game spaces. Like, game spaces historically, there's some shitty, toxic history in games, some ongoing stuff as well. And I think generally games have a very violent, very masculine like connotation to them. I used to organize some arcades, kind of alternative arcades showing like artistic, poetic games. And I remember I had so many interesting conversations with the parents who were bringing their kids to this game arcade and being shocked that like, oh, I thought games are all about just killing people. And then, we were showing these beautiful games about poetry or going to the grocery store and shopping or I don't know, uh, musical mushroom games or Firewatch and people were so shocked, and I was just like, someone who is like immersed in games now for like 15 years is like, yeah, of course. Games are like
Oh.
movies, like there's all kinds. There are horror films and there are funny films and some really wild auteur cinema that takes 8 hours to watch.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, or like books, like you can just go to different sections of a bookstore.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's amazing, that is so cool. Previously, you mentioned your sponsors for Gamerella. Who are your sponsors for Gamerella?
Oh, thanks for the question. So I can plug them in here. This year's 2025 Gamerella Game Jam sponsors are Emotive, who have been our legacy sponsor for many years now. We are super grateful to them. They're a wonderful team. And Behavior as well, who have been almost legacy mentor as well, maybe one more year, and we'll give them a special golden badge. So thank you, Behavior and
Amazing.
Emotive. And our mentorship program, which we haven't talked much about, it's like halfway through, has been sponsored by the Canada Media Fund, who are also just really incredible people working super hard to support arts and um, entertainment and media and games in Canada. So big shout out to Canada Media Fund as well.
Fantastic, and tell me more about the mentorship program, because 'cause you're right, we didn't touch on it,
Yes.
a lot.
So one thing, as we mentioned, like we're creating this utopistic weekend where there are no obstacles, everything is great. And then many times when the game jam is over, people are like, but what now? Like what, it's a whole other year before this event comes by. So for people have been asking for a long-term gem-like experience for like 10 years. But that thing is very expensive, right? Like it's a whole year and it's a lot of people, a lot of organizations. So again, thanks to Canada Media Fund who provided the sponsorship, the grant this year so we could run the first year. And as far as I know, this is Canada's first long-term game industry mentorship program. And there are some incubators, but when it comes to mentorship, I think this is the first one. I've been saying that left and right, and nobody has stopped me and to correct me. So, you know, and one
It's
day we'll beep
perfect.
it and put it on everything. Um, and we this year we have 15 incredibly talented mentees, with 14 also incredibly talented, very generous mentors, and we try to create these perfect matches. This one-on-one mentorship that runs for almost a full year. They meet every month. And we also provide a ton of workshops and in-person experiences like studio visits and mock job interviews, media training. Like we're really trying to share and give knowledge that is not stuff you can pick up in the school, but it's much more like opening the door to know a network of people who are influential in the game industry, so you have that like Rolodex, that list of people you can, call up on and because it's all about who you know, right? And under-recognized people, marginalized people so often are just not in those rooms. They don't have those connections. Um, so that's what the mentorship is trying to do. We're halfway through. And it's been incredibly exhausting, and I hope that our mentees are having a fantastic time. And, we really hope that we can run it again next year, and it can be an annual thing that kind of, like, bridges between the jams. So if you're, a a billionaire out there, you can totally give your money this way. We will use it for
Amazing.
good.
That is fantastic. Billionaires, here we
Con
are.
let's do it.
That's
We just
great.
calculated that if, one of those top billionaires, they donated I don't have the number of zeros in front of me, but it was like something like 0.00003% of their wealth to us, we could run Gamerella for 25 years. So
Oh my
for a very
god.
little prize,
That is
consider it.
nuts. That is absurd, and I don't doubt it. That sounds 100% accurate. That is insane. Well, that's awesome. I love the mentorship program, especially because yeah, school versus real life, sometimes there's a disconnect of what the industry is actually going to be like once you're out of school. So that's
Yeah,
fantastic to, um, be in touch with these professionals and work
yeah.
one-on-one with them. That's amazing.
One of a weird success story we had this year is that one of our mentees came in thinking they want to work at a AAA studio, and which is something that I think a lot of schools sell. And in Montreal, it's definitely like it's like a dream. Like that's where you want to be. You want to work in the next I don't know, Call of Duty or whatever. And
Right.
and then through the studio visits and the mentoring and lots of discussions, they realized that actually that is not for them. They could not do what is needed in a AAA, the work rhythm, the crunch, the working at a desk and just fulfilling what is needed by the art director or the design director. And we considered it a success. So it's like, great, you didn't waste 2 years of your life and possibly a burnout. And now
Yeah.
you're gonna reskill and look into what kind of game making you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like everybody leaving film school and wanting to be the next Martin Scorsese or whatever, and then you realize, ooh, I don't like how the networks have to tell me, or I need approval from other people to
Yeah.
make the art that I want to make, and
Yeah.
things like
I think
that.
art
So,
schools in general have a very romanticized version of that art. I mean, I went to both, like, fine art school and then film school, and I think both of them are just like, "And we make art?" And then you get out of school and you're like, "Okay, so I have to spend 2 years writing grants, and then I'm gonna do the thing for 2 days, and then I'm gonna spend 3 years, did you say 2 days writing grants? 2 years writing grants, and then I'm gonna
mhm.
spend 2 days making the art, and I'm gonna spend 2 years distributing my art, writing
Yes.
documentation, and treat my burnout."
Yeah, yeah, and the aftermath surprised me the most of promoting and the festival rounds and trying to get distribution, because at that point, as an actor, I'm like, "Oh, I'm done. I did my 2 days on set,
Yeah.
and now I'm over it, and I wanna be on the next." And they're like, I can't imagine, like the press tour that they have to do for Wicked and whatnot. It's now been like a 2 solid year press tour, and they're like, "I've done it already." I'd be
And,
just so
yeah,
impatient with
and
on to the
success in
next.
our world comes sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say, like, even success in our world, it comes with such a price. Like, we're all thriving to be successful, right? Striving? We're all striving to be successful, but, like, successful people, their schedules are, like, sometimes so cool with these, like, the Wicked, like, tour, the media tour. I bet they have, like, probably 50 interviews a day, and they got up at, like, 4:30 AM to get their glam done.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
they have to wake up super early in their hotel, sit in a room, and then interview after interviewer just comes in and asking generally the same questions. And I'm like, I can understand when you see, like, celebrities getting annoyed in interviews,
yeah.
I can totally get it. They're probably in their, like, 6th hour of the
Mhm.
same question, and some of them
Yeah.
are really dumb questions. So, yeah, I could definitely get it. Yeah, success, versus reality is definitely an adjustment from school to actually living out in the
Mm.
world, for sure. But you wanted to introduce or talk about you and your co-founder for Gamerella, or co-producer, co-president. What's your official title?
We call ourselves co-director.
Co-director.
I
I
don't know,
like it.
CEO didn't sound very friendly. It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
co-director sounds
It's
friendlier.
the capitalism we're trying to get away from.
It's like we're trying to balance between looking impressive to sponsors and
Yes.
looking approachable to our participants, you know?
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. It is a very delicate balance.
So my name is Gina Hara, she, her. Um, as I mentioned 50 times, filmmaker in the background, gamer in the heart. And then my partner in crime and the other co-director of Gamerella is Courtney Blamey. Soon to be Dr. Courtney Blamey. She's finishing her PhD. Of course, she's a game scholar. And she's also a game designer and an overall brilliant human being. And we're in this forever, and we're gonna keep doing Gamerella and hope to, I started with saying we want to have a kinder game industry, and we're gonna keep working at that one participant at a time.
That is amazing. That is so cool. Couple of brilliant people putting together Gamerella. That is amazing. I love what you're doing.
I think we're just very stubborn. And we want to
That's how
show
we
them
get
that
things done.
we want to show them that, like, look, you can make games without crunch. You can make games in a kind of non-toxic environment. Here's the proof. Look.
Yes,
Just want to tell them
absolutely.
we know it better.
Exactly. That's amazing. I have a couple last questions for you. My first question is if you could tell your younger self starting out in this gaming world any piece of advice, what advice would you give? Or it can be when you were in film school.
Mm,
Any time in there.
that's such a good question. I know I watch like Drag Race and they always ask this question but nobody asks me. And I'm like, oh my God, now I'm like I'm one of the queens of the state.
The
Who is
queens, that's
asking me what
right.
would I tell to tiny Gina?
That's right.
I would be like, first of all, that giant comic book collection you have, do not sell it to that stupid guy who offered you
Mm.
like $5 for 500 comic books. Don't sell it. Just
Oh
because you're a
no.
girl, you can own that comic book collection. Damn it.
Yes. Yes.
And then maybe like just keep playing video games. Like it's not a waste of time.
Yeah, that's true. We did grow up in the generation of this is a
Yeah.
waste of time. Your brain is melting. It's increasing your
Absolutely.
violence.
I mean, it went from like I watched like I don't know, like 4 hours of MTV and Cartoon Network every day. I'm
Yeah.
showing my age to like then, like spending 4+ hours on like playing video games, and definitely was always like, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your time. And I still
Mhm.
to this day, in the back of my mind, somewhere there is like, you're wasting your time.
Yes. And I think it's a universal problem. I was just talking about this with my partner of I'll be doing something actually productive and my brain will be like, you could be doing something more productive. And I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
What
And
is
it's so
this?
funny because then at the same time you look up to books and reading so much. And like,
Yes.
let's face it, like the slop that often nowadays is called books is like not in any way better than watching Love is Blind or
Yeah.
playing, I don't know, 500 hours of Animal Crossing. Like,
Right?
if anything, I think 500 hours of Animal Crossing is probably better for your brain. And you build friendship and you have cute flowers.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Right? I think in video games too, I'm not a huge gamer, but in video games too, as opposed to like watching something, I feel like you're more engaged, like your brain is more engaged, rather than just sitting there and absorbing,
Yeah.
you're
And
thinking
often
strategy, you're making connections, you're building
exactly.
something.
You're building something, you're using your imagination, your puzzle
Yeah.
solving. How's that like a waste of time?
Yeah, exactly. So more gaming, everyone. If you don't, and let's do more. Uh,
I'm not on TikTok, but I wonder if there's a game talk.
A game talk, probably.
The
There's
book.
gotta be. There's gotta be.
Yeah, there's
I'm
gotta be.
gonna look it up after
I
now.
don't know if you should. I won't.
Didn't see Allison for 3 weeks after that.
There are things that need to be left untouched.
That's fair. And my final question to you is, if you could title this chapter in your life, if you could give it a title, what title would you give it?
Such a deep question. Oh my god. I don't like teary notes. I don't know. I think hmm. That's such a hard question. I feel like maybe I okay, I want to give an optimistic answer. And I think that optimism right now from my life comes from Gamerella. Like it is so beautiful that in this world that is burning, we encourage people to make video games and, you know, make them laugh and happy and nurture friendships and relationships that share knowledge and there's generosity and no gatekeeping. I want to maybe I would say like building community. Um Building a family. Yeah, that's it. Maybe that's what I want to say is building a family. And I want to build a family. I would love to like collaborate with other similar organizations in Canada or even across the world and share our resources and share our burdens um and work together to make an even bigger difference. So yeah, yeah, building a family. I like that.
Amazing. I love it. Well, you guys have done such an amazing job of creating a beautiful, welcoming space in a world that is burning. So, that's got to be a very rewarding, but B, I'm so happy for you. Like that sounds amazing. It sounds very fulfilling,
Thanks,
and
Allison.
you're kicking ass doing it. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for doing this podcast and
Thank
reaching out
you.
and wanting to talk about Gamerella. I'm so glad that we did and got to organize this.
Oh
So
my god.
thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Super fun talking to you, Alison. And if you ever want to talk more about films too, I'm happy to come back. It's honestly, I had
Amazing.
such a fun time. Like, let's talk about I have a lot of thoughts about acting and auditions and like
Okay, yeah, episode 2 coming
okay,
soon then.
I'm gonna come
Absolutely.
back with my filmaker outfit. I don't know.
Yeah,
For those who are
that's
listening, I
great.
have a Gamerella sweater on.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, we'll absolutely have to do that. That'll be awesome. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. Be sure to subscribe, send this episode to a friend, and I'll see you in the next interview.